good day to you, my friends. This is the Englander. So I decided to do a little bit of what I will call wandering thoughts. You know, just anything that's on my mind, and while I'm out for a wander, you know. So, well, I've been writing a little scripted video at the moment, as you probably shall see if it's already up, on the Rings of Power and cultural stagnation. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it, and I think it points to some of the current predicaments we're in, and kind of the road ahead that we should be taking, and kind of some of the reasons for why we're in the mess we find ourselves today. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to pop into my mind for about the next 10 minutes, but well, I hope this is a somewhat interesting conversation anyway. I mean, I do love Tolkien's work, and I think that was kind of why, that was one of the main reasons why that gave me the drive to put that video out, because his works, the books he wrote, and eventually the marvellous trilogy that Peter Jackson made, the adaptation, kind of formed some of my childhood memories. I remember sitting around while my dad read to me Lord of the Rings, the book, and I also read The Hobbit shortly afterwards, which I know is a bit back to front, but still I have very fond memories of them nonetheless. And well, it was actually the films, in fact, that I saw first, and it was that which kind of led me on to just watching and reading Tolkien's works. And I think we can learn a lot from fiction. I know the things I write and the things I do, they're I'm going this way. The things I write are mainly non-fiction. I'm sorry if you can hear lots of wind at the moment, and that's fine. Non-fiction is you know, based in reality. It's you know, it tells you what you want to, tells you things you need to know, and all that sort of jazz. It's, you know, but it's, I still find that there's a huge importance to fiction, and although, you know, Gandalf may not be a true character in real life, he may not have been born in 1324 AD, he may not have died in 1376 AD, or whatever, but it still has an immense value for our own lives. I mean, my friend, I don't know if I'll probably chuck a link to his channel in the description. Lobster, number one Lobster. Subscribe. He is making his own, like, fictional world, and I think that's incredibly important. That has, you know, a great value to it, because the kind of the themes and the messages they're not even put in, like, inserted into the work explicitly. I mean, that's the whole point of why some fiction can be good and others aren't, you know. Those that unnaturally insert political messaging, I don't know, like our recent Rings of Power, or Doctor Who, you know, all these shows which once, well, Doctor Who especially, once had, admittedly, it was a largely progressive show, even back in the, you know, before the 2000s, before this, what do they call it, the new Who was released. But it was much more subliminal, and audiences could approve of that. Yes, anyway, so yeah, Lobster's been making his own fictional world, and he's filled it with, probably some of them without realising. Well, hello. You're probably wondering, how on earth have I suddenly managed to teleport to a completely different location? Well, my friends, the reason for that is I quite stupidly forgot to delete some of the recordings that I've uploaded onto my computer for my camera. So it kind of cut out and suddenly said, oh, your SD card's empty, which is a shame, because I didn't actually notice it until I finished recording, or supposedly recording. So my little tangents didn't go on for very long. About 5 minutes, I think. I wasn't that much longer, to be fair. So, where was I? Yeah, so we're into some quite overgrown place now. Lobster's fictional world. And, ow. Oh dear. I think it has incredible importance. Just in fiction in general, because it can, as I was saying before I cut out, it provides a remarkable window into the lives of the people who wrote them. So Lobster, he probably may have inserted some themes consciously, but I bet you the majority of themes he's inserted in his world building came in unconsciously, which is interesting, because when you read those books you might actually find things, or when you read books, learn about the worlds people have created. There's no way I'm getting through this. When you read about the worlds people have created, you can actually find themes, you can find things in there which even the author doesn't realise, because they're subconscious, and they do without realising. And likewise, Tolkien, who I think just reading The Lord of the Rings can give you an incredible kind of insight into the world he lived in. Incredible insight. I mean, the scouring of the Shire. That it could not be unfortunately removed from the films, but you can understand why. That was removed from that was a big window into his own life experience, because after World War II, he returned to one of his childhood homes, or one of his childhood villages which he was raised in, with a place called, this little mill called Sarehole, and around it there were forests, there were meadows, there were all sorts of things in which would be an idyllic, wonderful place to be raised in. And in fact, this was the place which he based his the Shire off of. And it doesn't seem much of a coincidence that in the scouring of the Shire, the hobbits returned to a place ruined by machinery and industrialisation. It's no coincidence, because Tolkien, when he returned to this place, saw it subsumed into a Birmingham suburb. He saw it had become a dreadful place. Unfortunately, it's just a ruined place, you know. It had these horrible flats, horrible apartments. It had these, yeah, just, well, the machines came, put it that way. And his forests he grew up knowing were no more, and perhaps some of those meadows he grew up seeing were no more. Sandyman's Mill in the Shire, when they returned to it, had likewise, like Sarehole Mill, which had fallen into a ruined state, Sandyman's Mill was also ruined, but not in exactly the same way, because as we know, Tolkien didn't like allegory, which is an often repeated phrase. This mill, rather, had become a sort of, it would become hideous, first of all, and it had also become sort of geared towards ever increasing profits and not serving the community it was designed to protect and help thrive. A tragic shame. I think we should learn from these things. I think we should learn from the experiences that these authors of the Western canon put into their works. And through reading them, through studying them and learning more of them, it can help us in our own lives in navigating a way out of these ruins and just finding a place outside of it. Indeed, Sarehole may have been ruined in a way. Parts of it do not remain, but we should not despair. In fact, it should reinvigorate us and make us ever more eager to protect the land we love. Art has value, as I said in my video essay. It has importance, especially to a movement which wishes to supplant the current order. And fiction, the stories and the things we write, which may not be based in real life events, have a vital importance in that, and are crucial in doing so. Yeah, so I guess I'll wrap this up, and thankfully I've managed to get back on the track. It's been a wonderful walk, and I shall continue on behind the camera, off or out, however you say it. I will see you next time, my good friends. Toodle pip.